Of course, Pastor Dandy Cojuangco. Of course, Mr. Henry Cojuangco enjoying this ball game.
You know what they're not enjoying is the free throw shooting of Chris Alexander, 1 out of 6 so far. He actually has shot very well in the semifinals sa free throw line, pero ito, masama yung simula niya dito eh.
Once again, they go to the post. Finally, Steve Thomas, after getting frustrated a number of times, gets his 8th point of the ball game. 13-point lead for Barangay Ginebra, approaching the 4-minute mark ng ating second quarter. Quick pull-up for Mark Caguiwa. Wala. And the ball will go to Air21 Express.
But there you saw Chris Alexander was again on the ball, about to get an offensive rebound. Steve Thomas has to be aware that Chris Alexander, no matter who takes the shot, no matter kung saan galing si Chris Alexander, will try to go for the offensive rebound. At doon nabubuhay rin itong crowd ng Barangay Ginebra.
Ranidel de Ocampo steps back and he knocks down the TM3. You would think that was a bad shot, pero pumasok eh.
That's right. Yung tira nga na yun, not again in the flow of offense. Added degree of difficulty because it's a step back and it's from the three-point range.
Judy Valenzuela twirls. No success that time because that was a one-on-one play for Judy Valenzuela. Ang bilis ng palitan rin ng tao dito, no? For both teams. Chris Pacana ngayon, papalitan ulit si Judy Valenzuela. Really want to sustain the energy.
And Richard, you can see the experience of Coach Jongy Chico. As a player, when it's the finals, you have about 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, sunog ka na because of the added pressure na nararamdaman mo in the finals. You can see on the one side, Coach Jongy Chico, ang bilis ng palit niya dahil alam niya yung mga players may halong excitement. Yung excitement, nakakapagod yun eh.
Caguiwa inside, blocked by Arwin Santos. Caguiwa again, and he gets the basket. Good hustle there from Chris Alexander, saving that possession. Air21 with their half-court set. They're almost exclusively looking for Steve Thomas.
Exactly.
Off-balance shot there for Steve Thomas. Kaya nga lang, he got Alexander up in the air.
And you know, it's not bad to exclusively look for one player. What's bad is after you give the basketball to that one player, hindi ka nagagalaw, manonood ka na. Ang nangyayari ngayon sa Air21, pagbigay nila kay Steve Thomas, nanonood na lang sila para silang bumili ng ticket din dito sa Araneta.
That's right. No, and as long as ito si Chris Alexander can hold his own, single coverage lang yan, it will make a lot of difference. It will make things easier for the defense of Barangay Ginebra.
And it's not like Steve Thomas is destroying Chris Alexander. He's only shooting he's 4 out of 11 from the field, so that's just a shade of over 36%.
I think they're trying to fish early fouls from Chris Alexander, but he's doing a good job. And he does not finish this play. Yun ang sinasabi natin, yung maganda ginagawa ng Barangay Ginebra. No? They're creating a lot of opportunities to mga guards ng Barangay Ginebra, doing a good job of penetrating and creating plays for their big guys. Wow, 13 big rebounds already and 3 block shots for Chris Alexander. Burahin mo na lang yung free throw niya. 1 of 7 si Chris Alexander. He adds to his board to his free throw shooting woes. Arboleda, backdoor play to Arwin Santos. And there's Chris Pacana called for a foul.
Just an advantage right there for Arwin Santos. Mas malaki na siya doon sa mga gwardiya ng Barangay Ginebra. Tapos, mas mataas pa siyang tumalon kaysa sa kanila.
You know, all Air21 needs to do really is to be patient on their offense.
You know, they actually, kanina, di ba, lumaki ang kalamangan, Richard, all the way to 17. But a couple of missed free throws para sa Ginebra. And Air21 just slowly clawing themselves back into the game. Pag na-shoot ito ni Arwin Santos, back to a single-digit game.
Just have to make sure na hindi ka kagad pag-iwanan eh, no? You just have to keep yourself within striking distance. That's what Air21 is doing. But they really need to do the job on defensive end as well as ito, yung matchup natin.
Nag-usapan na natin kanina si Chris Alexander that he should be better than his counterpart. So far, definitely better than his counterpart with rebounds and blocks.
Ito naman, dire-diretso si Arwin Santos. Wala, here's another chance. Steve Thomas losing that leather. 2-on-1 break. Elterbrand to Kagiwa. And I'm sure pagdating sa dugout, yan ang pag-uusapan itong Air21, their transition defense.
And that's what we said, di ba? Yung problema nila, isa sa mga problema nila, transition defense. Bakit pa sila nagkakaroon ng problema sa transition defense? Because their guards rebound. Aside from Gary David, guys like Arwin Santos, Winnie Arboleda, they're willing to rebound in the paint. Nawawalan tuloy sila ng safety.
Ito ay si Chris Bacana. Floater is good. Everybody joining the scoring column para sa Barangay Ginebra. The first 2 points para kay Chris Bacana.
And especially Richard, that third guard. Aside from Mark Kagiwa and JJ Helterbrand, saan ba bang gagaling yung puntos sa araw na to? Ang dami lang nakuha kay Junti, kay Chris Bacana ngayon, kay Sunday Salvacion, at kanina kay Paul Artadi.
And this is what you're talking about, no? No movement on the part of the players of Air21 once the ball gets dumped in the post. Buti na lang na pumasok yung hook shot na yun ni Steve Thomas. Chris Bacana, wrap around, wala. Here's Alexander. Oh, a tip-in by Chris Bacana. And that's very frustrating for Air21.
And you can see a lot of Air21 players having their heads down pagkatapos sa nangyari na yon, because right now they are getting out-hustled by the Chin King.
Offensive rebound, another miss for Arwin Santos.
Ano ang problema kay Arwin, Richard? Nagmamadali. Natatakot siya kay Chris Alexander. You know, he's there at the paint. He's getting a position for offensive rebounds. But the moment he gets the ball, he's trying to release the ball early para hindi siya mahabol ni Alexander.
30 seconds remaining here in the first half. Tough layup from Gary David. You know, the shot selection has really been awful para dito sa Air21.
And you know, Ginebra has really forced them out of their game plan. All the mismatches on the court, then they go to etong kay Gary David, pilipit na tira.
Looking for the last shot of the half. Itong Barangay Ginebra, Mark Kagiwa, guarded by Arwin Santos. Kicks it out to JJ Helterbrand. Go! Would have brought the house down. And that will do it here in the first half, mga kaibigan. A half dominated by Barangay Ginebra after a slow start. They were down 10-0. Now they are up by 11, 50-39. Don't go away, mga kaibigan. Watch out for our halftime features.
Gusto ko